What if everything you have been taught about reality is only a fragment of the truth? What if the world you see around you is not the ultimate reality, but a projection filtered through the mind? Most people move through life asleep, trapped inside patterns, fears, emotions, labels, and conditioning, without ever questioning who they truly are. They identify completely with the mind, with the body, with the personality they have built over time, never realizing that behind all of it exists something far greater: consciousness itself. You are currently living inside a dream, an illusion created and interpreted by the mind. Reality, as most people understand it, is nothing more than perception. The mind gives names to everything. It says, "This is me," and "that is you." It separates observer from observed, subject from object, self from existence. And the moment you fully identify yourself as the mind, you become trapped in duality and separation. But beyond the mind, there is no true separation. There is no distance, no limitations, no boundaries in the way the human mind imagines them. Time itself is part of perception. The mind measures beginnings and endings, past and future, success and failure. Yet consciousness exists beyond all of those concepts. Consciousness simply is, eternal, formless, infinite. And because humanity has become deeply identified with the mind, most people unknowingly become servants to it. Their thoughts control them. Their fears shape their reality. Society programs their actions, their desires, their beliefs, and even their understanding of freedom. Many people believe they are making conscious decisions, but in truth, they are reacting unconsciously to conditioning they never chose. Humanity is under a form of spiritual slavery, and most people are completely unaware of it. People spend their entire lives blaming circumstances, other people, governments, bad luck, or fate for their suffering and failures, never realizing that much of what they experience is being projected outward from within themselves. They search outside for answers while ignoring the chaos within their own consciousness. Reality is not as solid as people think. What is truly real is consciousness itself, because consciousness is the foundation through which reality is experienced. Your consciousness shapes your perception, and your perception shapes the reality you live in. Think of the body as an animated vessel, an avatar through which consciousness experiences existence. Without consciousness, the body is simply matter. It is awareness that gives it meaning, movement, identity, and life. Consciousness has no physical shape or form. It cannot be confined inside the limitations of language. It simply exists. Yet within consciousness lives something sacred, a divine spark present within every human being. That spark is the essence of the Creator, the fragment of the infinite source flowing through all life. This is why ancient spiritual teachings across different civilizations spoke about humanity carrying the seed of divinity within. Not because humans are meant to worship themselves with ego, but because we were created with the ability to consciously create, evolve, transform, and align ourselves with the greater intelligence of existence itself. We are not powerless beings abandoned in a random universe. We are co-creators, and self-knowledge is the doorway that unlocks this understanding. The moment a person begins to truly know themselves beyond labels, beyond trauma, beyond societal conditioning, beyond fear, they begin to awaken to possibilities they never imagined. They realize that life is not merely something that happens to them. Life is something they participate in creating. We do not simply live life. We shape it through consciousness, perception, energy, belief, and action. The universe itself operates through intelligence and mind. And until humanity learns to rise above unconscious thinking and master the mind instead of being mastered by it, people will continue blaming the world for problems they have never taken responsibility for internally. Your outer world reflects your inner world. The chaos within manifests outwardly. The peace within manifests outwardly. The fear within manifests outwardly. The love within manifests outwardly. Everything begins inside. And the moment you take responsibility for your inner space, your external reality begins to transform naturally, not through force, but through alignment. This is the deeper truth behind manifestation. Manifestation is not merely lighting candles, holding crystals, repeating affirmations, or setting intentions while remaining internally unchanged. Those things may help focus energy for some people, but true manifestation goes much deeper than rituals alone. Real manifestation happens when consciousness, belief, emotion, and action become aligned. It happens when opportunities appear and you consciously act upon them. It happens when fear no longer controls your decisions. It happens when your inner reality matches the future you claim to desire. That is how you become a conscious co-creator with the greater collective consciousness. Everything in existence is connected within the infinite whole. Every soul, every experience, every lesson, every challenge, every encounter plays a role within this vast web of consciousness. And within this collective existence, every individual carries a unique responsibility. Nothing exists without purpose. And when a person refuses to align with their deeper purpose, imbalance is created internally and externally. Energy seeks harmony. Karma seeks balance. Every action creates consequences. Every intention creates movement. Every thought carries energy. So the question becomes, what role are we truly here to play? This is one of the most important questions a person can ever ask themselves. Because we live in a reality governed by duality, light and darkness, love and fear, pain and joy, creation and destruction, hot and cold, expansion and contraction. Duality exists everywhere within the physical world. Yet in the middle of all these opposing forces, humanity has one central purpose: to radiate love outwardly. Just as the Creator radiates life without asking for anything in return, we too are called to embody unconditional love. God is love, and love is the highest frequency of consciousness. To inherit our spiritual birthright, we must learn to love beyond ego, beyond transaction, beyond personal gain. True love is not weakness. It is one of the greatest forms of power a human being can embody. Many people misunderstand love because society has taught them to associate power with dominance, aggression, and control. But true power is wisdom. True power is emotional mastery. True power is remaining aligned with love even in a world filled with hatred, fear, division, and manipulation.
Love does not make you vulnerable. It makes you conscious. And through that consciousness, you begin to transform not only your own life, but the lives of others around you. When your actions are driven by genuine care, compassion, and the desire to add value to humanity, life begins responding differently to you. Opportunities appear, connections align, abundance flows naturally because you are no longer operating from selfishness, fear, or scarcity. This is the deeper meaning behind what many people call the law of attraction. What you embody internally begins magnetizing experiences externally. The universe responds not only to what you say you want, but to what you truly are energetically. And this world will never truly change until individuals become brave enough to stand for truth, consciousness, and compassion. Real transformation begins the moment someone decides to stop living unconsciously and starts becoming a source of healing, wisdom, and light for others. Once your purpose becomes centered around adding value to humanity, you will be surprised how many of the things you once desperately chased begin gravitating toward you naturally, because energy flows where alignment exists. Yet just as reality is governed by light and darkness, society itself reflects duality. There are those who think consciously, and there are those who surrender themselves completely to unconscious systems. There are those who question reality, and there are those who blindly accept everything they are told. The difference between these groups is awareness. Self-awareness determines whether a person remains spiritually asleep or begins awakening to deeper truths. Many spiritual traditions believe that souls choose certain experiences before incarnating into physical existence. Some souls come into this world deeply attached to material reality, becoming lost within the illusion of status, possessions, validation, and ego. Others come here carrying a deeper mission, to help awaken consciousness within humanity. These are often the souls who feel different from an early age, the ones who never fully fit into society, the ones who feel emotions deeply, the ones who question everything, the ones who carry unusual sensitivity and awareness. Their path is rarely easy. When you come into this world carrying an assignment connected to awakening consciousness, life often becomes incredibly difficult at first. You are not given a manual explaining who you are. No one teaches you how to navigate your gifts, your emotions, your intuition, or your purpose. Many awakened souls grow up feeling isolated, misunderstood, rejected, or emotionally overwhelmed. They experience intense pain, suffering, heartbreak, confusion, and spiritual battles because those experiences become catalysts for transformation. Pain forces awakening. Suffering forces introspection. Darkness often becomes the doorway through which consciousness begins remembering itself. And after enough suffering, a person either becomes consumed by bitterness or they awaken to wisdom. This is why so many spiritually aware people go through powerful transformations after periods of emotional collapse, loss, loneliness, or deep inner questioning. The soul begins remembering. If this message resonates deeply within you, then perhaps you are one of the souls who came into this reality carrying a purpose greater than survival alone. Perhaps you are here to help raise the vibration of consciousness on this planet through your presence, your energy, your wisdom, your compassion, your creativity, or your healing. And it is not too late to begin walking in that purpose. The life of an empath, a seeker, or an awakened soul is often filled with extreme highs and lows until they learn how to consciously use their gifts. Sensitivity becomes overwhelming when it lacks direction. But once those gifts are used in service to humanity, pain begins transforming into purpose. Your experiences were not meaningless. Your struggles were shaping you. Your suffering was preparing you. And the moment you stop running from your purpose, everything begins changing. Because awakening is not about escaping the world. It is about becoming conscious within it. It is about mastering the mind instead of becoming enslaved by it. It is about remembering who you truly are beneath the illusion. A conscious being, a creator, a soul carrying divine intelligence within, a fragment of the infinite source experiencing itself through human form. And once you truly remember that, your entire reality begins to transform.
If this message awakened something deep within you, if you feel like you are beginning to see beyond the illusion, beyond the conditioning, beyond the limits this world placed upon your mind, then this journey is only beginning. Subscribe to the channel and become a part of a community dedicated to consciousness, spiritual awakening, self-mastery, and higher truth. Every video is created to help you remember who you truly are beneath the illusion. And if this message resonated with your soul, leave a comment below with the words, "I am awaking." Your awakening may inspire someone else to begin theirs.